Kirk Herb Street talking very positively about what could be coming to the Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams, talking about his ability, talking about him as a player, talking about how he could be a franchise-altering player. Thought he spoke very highly on the Pat McAfee show about Caleb Williams and what was coming to the Chicago Bears. But there was one thing that really stuck out to me in this press conference, and as a Justin Fields fan, it made me feel, I don't know if I saw this like moment of clarity or there was a moment of, what's the right word? Like there was a moment of like, oh, maybe that's the way everybody else saw him, and I was on the other side of that. And it's with somebody we had in this city. He talked about Caleb has the ability to not just go out and hit the home runs, but to hit singles, hit doubles, get triples every now and then. And then when you need him to make a home run play, he can make the right play. And as tough as this is as a fan to say, I have to ask the question: is Justin Fields Javi Baez?
Ooh.
Is Justin Fields a guy who can hit the ball out the park if he makes contact, can absolutely hit the home run, can absolutely make all of the flashy plays, but for the love of God, would you take a walk? For the love of God, maybe don't swing at something 5 feet outside the strike zone. I'd put your arms down because you love Javi Baez. You know I do. You can't say anything. Yes. Hey, kid was clapping when Javi got paid. I was laughing when Javi got paid. Is Justin Fields Javi Baez, boys?
I've never made that comparison, but that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, Javi was my favorite player. What was he, second in the MVP votes behind the dude in Milwaukee that 1 year? He's a 3 outcome player. He home run, strikeout, or walk, right?
A walk.
Barely, maybe 2 outcome player.
Home run, strikeout, or he might have got hit by a pitch and then went to punch the pitcher like that.
Yeah. Like that actually makes a lot of sense. That was actually the analogy from Kirk Herb Street that really stood out to me, is that Caleb, that's the reason why his pro day was so generic. It didn't really stand out. It wasn't like spectacular. He compared it to like when you saw the guy that just fizzled out that was taken before Justin in the draft, went to the Jets. My goodness.
Oh, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Yeah, you saw Zach Wilson's
Trevor Lawrence?
pro day. No,
sorry.
No. Zach Wilson, had all the throws. He wowed everybody at his pro day. But Caleb Williams, in a sense, was like, hey, I'm going to prove to you all that I can play within the system. I don't have to always improvise. I can play within the pocket, simple, short, intermediate throws, short passes. Justin Fields was always a guy who we said, hey, throw it to the running back. He's right there wide open for the 5 yards instead of looking down the field all the time trying to go for the bomb. We know Justin Fields has a pretty deep ball. But what else? And I had to get out of my rose-colored glasses and admit that's spot on. Javi Baez is definitely a good player.
Tough. It's so tough because I've always been the person that's like, Javi's a bad baseball player. Javi is one of the best. Like, and here's the thing. Here's the other comparison I've said. I think we made up a word for Javi. Javi's the best tagger we've ever seen.
Oh, facts.
Javi can catch a baseball above his head, take it between the legs, tags a guy out, then flips it the first for the double play. You're just like, what the was that?
Yeah.
He is what he is.
He's definitely a magician.
Justin Fields was an absolute magician when it came to getting out of tackles, getting away, and being able to turn nothing into something.
Wow, that is a
but
great
wasn't
comparison.
always able to turn something into something. And I'm telling you, as a Justin Fields fan, when I heard Kirk Herbstreit say Caleb can hit the singles, he can hit the doubles, he can sometimes get you to triples, and he's got the home run in him if you need it. I literally was like, oh man, Justin was the home run. He was the loud single guy. And that's kind of what we got out of him. And we kept waiting for him to be like, hey, listen, dog, just take the double. Just right off the fence, right there. There you go. Boom.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a great analogy. You want to know why?
Why you got that smile?
You want to know why it's a great analogy? Because I told you. No, it's The funny thing is, and this is what I say about that, because I heard that too, and I thought it was wild. One, stop dissing my man Javi. Anyway, I like this comment that Shane put.
I ain't gonna lie.
Justin still has time to develop his game more, and I hope he does. But that is what Justin was here. Justin was someone who I think was stuck trying to. Here's the thing. I don't know what the mentality was. I'll tell you what I saw. I felt like he was under pressure to make a big play and try to prove people wrong, and he really wanted to.
Yeah.
And he was stuck between that and protecting himself most of the time. And when you get caught in that, it's like, he's really just trying to go out there and just earn his keep realistically and just like fight for his position because he can hear he's just a running back and stuff like that. And I've made that joke several times, and it's a very off-putting joke, and I apologize for that. But I mean, realistically, that's what he showed us, that he can get it done with his legs, but he wasn't making smart decisions. I felt like he was just stuck in that rut of trying to prove it over and over again. Javi is just Javi. Like, that's just what Javi does. Javi just is what it is. I do feel
but
like
literally with Javi, I think that's the thing. It's like, dog, just adjust a little bit. Like, be honest. If Javi one day just decided, hey, listen, I'm not going to swing at fastballs 6 feet outside the strike zone, he would just start walking. And everybody would be like, wow, he's really turned himself around as a baseball player. And we see that in baseball. We see guys just go, I'm gonna just stop doing that. Because they keep striking me out on it. And I think with Justin, I think with a player, I was gonna say, I think with a player like Justin, if we want to make the comparison to somebody who used their legs a ton, Mike Vick in Philly. Mike Vick in Philly adjusted his game. He adjusted who he was. Like, it's not to say that you can't adjust. It's just when I heard if I would rather have a guy, and this is a baseball analogy, but I think it is that in football as well. Would you rather have a guy that takes what is given to you, or would you rather have a guy that's always swinging for the fences? And as a Fields fan, as somebody who supported Justin, still rocks with Justin, hope he has success in Pittsburgh, because we're not going to have to see him a ton unless we see him in the Super Bowl. Then I hope, it all falls off the wheels. But I do have to admit that the similarities with a player like that are similarities to a player that I have killed for almost his entire career in Javi Baez.
So if he was more of a game manager and not that, then you would be okay with it.
I think with his ability. Now, I also think, right, football is a very different sport than baseball. So, like, you can only throw to what's there. I think a lot of us had issues with route concepts. I think a lot of us had issues with what receivers were doing, how the games were being called, all of that stuff, right? Javi Baez didn't have that. Javi Baez walks up to the plate and it's him versus the pitcher. But if he took it's not there, let me get the ball to Khalil. It's not there, let me get the ball to Roshan. It's not there, let me just dump this off to Cole. And he did that all the way down the field, and then you make the big play. Now we're talking about him as somebody who manages a game, right? If he Drew Brees is with his legs. Now, Drew Brees is the best game manager to ever do it, but if he dink and dumps his way down the field with his legs, he's one of the best players in the NFL right now.
Absolutely.
We're having a different conversation. And I think that's what Caleb Williams can be, because he's willing to take the singles. Not to say he wants to run every play, but listen, you hit 4 singles. What is that? It's a run.
It's a run.
Yeah.
So if we're getting that guy, like it was one of those, like, I still rock with Justice, still think he could become that. But man, when I had that revelation, it was like, that's so Raven. It was
you really unpack it. Like it almost feels disgusting. I say that because, like, I mean, Javi's my guy, but I liked it because he made me watch baseball. He made defense in baseball really fun for me. And so, but outside of that, I can admit, horrible batter. Like, I never wanted him at bat. Like, I never wanted him at bat. But like, when I think about Justin, I just don't think of that same. Like, Javi is just a very arrogant. Like, you live with it, like, blessed.
I'm not talking personality though. I'm talking ability.
Yeah,
is there anything that you think Javi can't do?
His ability. Like, I feel like Justin is just more out of fear and like lack of concept and stuff like that. Versus, but it is the results you see on the field. I guess so. I'm having a tough time because I feel like it's like. I feel like I'm downing Justin way more than I want to.
And that's exactly how it feels to me. No, it's exactly how it feels to me because I think Javi Baez is an amazing fielder. I think he's just a bad hitter.
Yes.
Like he can't hit. He's got all the power in the world. He's got the worst eye I've seen in a long time.
I think it's a lack of self-control. I think the only time you saw him really commit to trying to do what you said about not going for the ball that's 6 feet off the strike zone is when Joe Madden was here. And you had that Joe Madden personality that was able to kind of control him and other parts of the team that he probably vibed with. And, you know, Joe Madden, I believe, even told him, hey, be yourself, but also understand, hey, you could be, I believe he even told him, he said, you could be Manny Ramirez, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, one time, if you just don't swing at the outside pitches. It's like, that's that's your ceiling. And when he told him that, that's when you got him to be the best version of himself until he just completely fell off and left and went to Detroit and whatever other team he went to. But comparing that to Justin, yeah, he didn't have the structure. Still on Detroit, right?
Still on Detroit.
He Justin Fields never had the structure around him to succeed, but at the same time, you know, you even heard him say, like, you know, with the coaching from Luke Getsy, you know, I feel like I'm not doing the things that I'm comfortable with. I'm robotic. I'm doing all the, but outside of that, you're a detriment to yourself because you're not allowing yourself to do the easy things easier. You're not making the easy passes, you know. So with all the talent that you have, you know, it just wasn't realized here. So, you know, that's why I have more hope in Caleb, huh?
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, wouldn't the name Jameis Winston fit that analogy a lot better?
No, because I think Jameis is. I've said this about Jameis. If Jameis played football 20 years ago, Jameis is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Jameis is a gunslinger.
Yeah,
Jameis is just like F it. It's up there somewhere.
That's how I feel like Javi is. It's like F it. I'm gonna swing it, and when I connect, it's gone.
Yeah, but I think the difference is that. It's not that Justin wasn't afraid to make the home run play. Yeah, I mean, like we know Justin's willing to throw the ball deep. We know he'll put it up there. He's gonna wait for you to get. But I think every play, right? It felt like I'm gonna use my legs to get us out of this. Maybe every now and then I'm gonna get you to single. I'm gonna get you to double. But for the most part, I'm trying to score a touchdown on this play. I'm trying to, hit my guy here. I'm trying to get this deep route to open up. And we've seen many times, and we've all criticized them for it, where it's like, hey, listen, I get that shit. What was it, 2 years ago, right? Darnell Mooney opens up. It's his number one route. Ends up missing him. They offer the field. Cole Kmet's wide open underneath for the easy first down. He went to Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney was one. In theory, in the scheme of things, I'm supposed to go to my one. He opened up. I saw what I needed to see. I missed him. But if you sit there and say, oh, but I got that single right there that's 5 yards ahead of me, and we live to fight another day, sometimes you got to do that. And I think that's why there is never that with Javi. Javi have runners on third, bottom of the ninth. All you got to do is get the hit where nobody's standing because they didn't shift it on you for the outfield. Just hit it 15 feet that way, and you can beat the man to first base. Guess where Javi's going to try to put it? Over the fence. It's like, we need one to win over the fence, but Javi over the fence. Shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think that's where I hit dingers. Yeah, I mean, we know what
walk-offs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And he wanted to do the bat sweep.
Oh,
hey, I even as a Sox fan, I was like, that was pretty fire because they was jogging back and forth on that one. But I thought that when I heard Herbie say that, I was on the treadmill today and it was like a revelation hit me. And I was like, oh, can everybody else see the Javi that I see in Justin Fields? Is that what I'm missing here?
Wow.
Yeah. You know, another point that I wanted to bring out from Kirk's, because he made a few good points about Eberflus and retaining him, and Caleb kind of getting past the narratives of this whole pink phone, pink thing, pink whatever narrative with him. He mentioned again, which again solidifies my confidence in moving forward from Justin Fields, is that everybody around him that Kirk has heard has said that they love him as a leader. They love, him on the field, him wherever they were when they said that, he saw him practicing and he said he wasn't supposed to say nothing. They said that he looks amazing, and the people around him rally around him. He has leadership qualities. He has leadership skills. So it just, again, bodes more confidence puts more confidence in, me saying that the Bears should go with him for that number 1 pick.
I like the fact that Post has put people in the room to kind of help that. I mean, Keenan Allen has spoken. I mean, he tried to be coy, but he's spoken highly of Caleb as well. He's a young quarterback that's going to need help in leading, and he's putting people in the room to help him do that. If anyone expects this rookie to just walk in and all of a sudden he's like in complete command of everything like that, it don't happen like that every time. It don't happen like that for a lot of teams. It's like a leading by community type thing until you actually step into your own. So they have to help him along that way. And I just like the fact that Pose was conscious of that as well, because I still don't get why people are expecting. Like, everyone's not Andrew Luck cussing out people on the first play that they ever see on the line.
Yeah, but the tough part is, like, that's what everybody says. Like, that's literally what everybody looks at him and says, better than Andrew Luck. That seems hard for me to believe. But
it's hard for me to believe.
I mean, I guess it would probably, like, we weren't doing a sports talk show when Andrew Luck got drafted. So, like, I guess maybe 10 years ago, it would have been hard for me when people said Andrew Luck is a better prospect than Peyton Manning. Yeah, it would have been tough for me to say something like that. It would have been tough for me to agree with something like that. So, listen, at the end of the day, you said what?
He was definitely physically better. He was faster. Just as strong of an arm.
Faster. What does that mean? Me walking is faster than Peyton Manning in a full sprint, dog.
That's what I said. It's not saying much. I'm just saying.
Peyton Manning. He said he was faster. Like, that meant something, bro. Like, hey, they got a dog at the clinic right now with no legs that can roll faster than Peyton Manning could run back in the day.
Shut up.
They call him Sit.
Oh my God!
Call that man lay down, dog.
Oh my God!
What is wrong with you, man?
Hey, man,
what's wrong?
Let's keep this thing moving along, man. A couple more topics to get into. Shadow Boy, let's get some comments here real quick. Shadow Boy said Justin Fields dealt a bad hand, but to be honest, Justin Fields still haven't worked through his mechanics from college. He's still pat the ball too much. He's still slow on his read. It looks like he doesn't trust himself. I agree with that. I think that they changed. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, rookie year, it did not feel like that. Year 2, it definitely felt like that. Year 3, it definitely felt. I think Luke Getsy changed some things that that he's going to have to unlearn. I do. I think that, and sometimes that's the thing. You're trying to turn a quarterback into a quarterback that he's not. That's why I hope that Mike Tomlin works out, because realistically speaking, Mike Tomlin is a coach that, from what we've seen for the most part, is like, hey, listen, who you are is who you are, and we'll try to make the best of that while developing you and who you can be. That's not what Luke Getsy wanted. Luke Getsy wanted that man to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's why he's sitting there. He's got the long footwork. He's got, and like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers can get away with that. Well, why can Aaron Rodgers get away with it? It's Aaron freaking Rodgers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a big difference. King Pole says, if Caleb beats the Packers, I'll paint my effing fingernails. I don't give a F anymore. I can't live in Wisconsin and listen to these idiots talk mess. Well, maybe don't paint the nails if you don't want them to talk mess, dog. I mean, like, don't give them easy ammo. Don't give them easy ammo. Let's keep this thing moving along. Man, you guys doing a live show for the draft. We're still working on the logistics of that. I think for the most part there will be some kind of live show, but we're trying to figure out, like, I think I'm supposed to be at Soldier Field, but like no one's told me anything yet. Because there's like less
Soldier Field. We're going to call in, be like, hey, dog, we're live now. Give us a live scoop. And we're going to Pat McAfee that joint. That's what we're going to do.
Hi, kid.
My source says.
Sources close to me say that Caleb Williams will be selected first overall. That happened already. Exactly. What are you hearing about the 9th overall pick? Absolutely nothing. Back to you, John. Hey, let's keep this thing moving along, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do if you have not done so.